The king's back. 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 The king's back.
Yeah, what's up? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to my live stream. I am the actual King Smith, and this is my morning vlog where I come on to talk about whatever the funk I want to talk about. Today's live stream is inspired by two people specifically. Mr. Beast, Jimmy, I don't know his last name, but he goes by Mr. Beast on YouTube, and I've talked about him on my channel before. And a guy by the name of Greg Adams, he goes by the moniker Coach Greg Adams on YouTube. And the title of this is going to be What a Difference a Decade Can Mean and Make. And some people take a look, and I talk about planning things all of the time, but I don't think people truly understand the impact of what can happen when you actually plan something, right? 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You can see the success of what people have and wonder how they got there. The blueprint is simple, yet it's hard to see when you're not having it, but you don't understand what the things that people did to get to where they're at now. So you're seeing them and their successes now, but it took work, it took drive, it took some planning, it took a lot of sacrificing to get there. So I had an idea of something that I wanted to talk about and just think about what a difference a decade means, right? Because time changes everything. Our technology, the relationships, the priorities in your life, and even your beliefs. 10 years ago, the world today looked completely different. TikTok didn't exist, first of all. AI was still, something that you might have saw on Star Trek. It wasn't things that you saw in real life. Half the jobs that we had now weren't really invented yet. But if you fast forward to today, we're living in a world where your phone can run your business. You can earn income, have a way of life from your phone. without needing to go into a brick and mortar place. Cars can drive itself. And you might even have people that you consider friends that you've never met in person because you're gaming with them online. So let's talk about what 10 years from today could look like. In 2035, what will life be like? Will we still have a two major party political system that we have now, the Democrats and the Republicans, the left versus the right? What will AI look like? How will jobs look 10 years from now? All right, everything's changing around us. And I always say, have an idea or get left behind. Understand what those changes are and have a plan with it, or you will be left behind. So let's talk about it. Let's first take a look back. Let's take a look back at the world in 2015 and just think about this for a second when you look at how things were 10 years ago. And I got to bring this up. Give me a second. And boom. When we go back and we look at the world in 2015, check this out. Gas averaged typically around $2.15. Streaming was just something that was just catching on, right? Netflix and Hulu were the dominant players in that space, and YouTube creators like Mr. Beast were finding their footing. The first Apple Watch has just launched. I have a smartwatch. This is the Google Pixel 4. So think about this. Google's been out a while, but smart tech is now starting to really dominate the fitness and health industry as the more metrics that you can gather about yourself, the earlier that you can detect health things and maybe help course correct and live life a little bit longer. Social media back then was more about sharing moments. Now you can monetize them. Political division existed, but not nearly where it is today. The culture wasn't nearly as intense as it was back then as it is now. So I want you to think about this. Where were you 10 years ago, and what's changed most in your life since? I know my answer. 10 years ago, I was in an intern program at the VA, which has led to the job that I have now. And I'm thankful for it. I was able to apply for an intern position that was shared to me through somebody that was a friend then and no longer a friend now. Me and this person had a huge falling out, and we have not spoken to each other since. It is what it is. But that person did look out and say, "Hey, there's this job. Your ass should apply." I listened, I did, and to be honest, I'm thankful for it. At the time, before I accepted that position, I was just getting out of the military. I was working a job on a military base, and I was able to get into that position thanks to one of my commanders, but that job was a temporary job. I knew that going into it, and when the funding ran out, so did that position. But I was able to transition over into an intern position and then accept the job that I have now. I was not making nearly as much money as I'm making now, but that was 10 years ago. All right. Let's fast forward to now. I think what we call today's current time is the age of acceleration and efficiency. Let's put this up on the screen. Where's my quiet mouse at? Because I don't know if y'all can hear this clicking. There it is. Do I have it plugged up? Oh, I do have it plugged up. Okay. I don't need y'all to hear all this clicking I'm doing. Click, click, clickety, clack. So right now, we're looking at what I call the age of acceleration, where AI is dominant. Automation is redefining everything: jobs, communications, creativity, all of that. A good bit of how I plan out my live streams is done through AI. It just makes things faster. It organizes, it helps give me my topics. Sometimes I use it for my thumbnails. I've used AI recently to basically be a financial planner. You can go to chatgpt.com. I pay for the pro version and type in be my financial planner. Here is my financial picture. What things do I need to do XYZ, right? You put it to what you wanted to do, or you could say, this is what I would like to do. Make some recommendations so that my net worth is improved by 10% in 3 years, right? Create a specific goal, a SMART goal, specific, measurable, achievable, what's the R? Reasonable and time bound. If you set a SMART goal into AI, AI will help you out. You might have to just r redefine some things or do some touch points and checks a little bit, but for the most part, AI is taking people's jobs. No longer do you need a certified financial planner. No longer do you need, ooh, dare I say it, if you're looking for a fitness coach, you can upload your labs into ChatGPT, create your goals, and have it do a workout plan for you and a diet plan as well. The age of acceleration is here. People are reevaluating traditional career paths and relationships when you think about it. While our government's trying to take away remote work, it's not going anywhere. I think we're going to see things kind of ebb and flow. It's going to, COVID showed that working remotely can work. Some people don't like it, and the people that don't like it are the people that don't have the opportunity to work remote. I get it. I get it. If you have the ability to work remote, you know how good it can be for work-life balance. It's saving on your pockets in general. If your work has the ability to do that. Now, if you're building things, you're helping put cars together that's coming off of an AI assembly line, right? Then you have to go in for those jobs. I work around the tech industry. Some people in tech have to physically be at a location for service, right? To handle things that for just yesterday, if you were doing anything with computers yesterday that were on the AWS servers, especially around this area, yesterday there was an Amazon Web Service server farm that had issues. It went down in Northern Virginia and it caused a nationwide outage on services across many platforms. I was impacted by it. I had work done to my car because my car is basically a driving computer and I needed to replace some sensors that took me just under $300 when parts and labors and everything was done to replace these computer sensors that are in my car that was giving me a fault. And when I went to go and try and pay, I could not pay at the place because their systems were down. So they were going back to the old school method of taking down your information, doing a manual ticket, and then they had to charge me later once the services and things came up. What would have been a quick, "Oh, here's your information, boom, 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 pull it up in the computer. Alright, here's the amount, this is what you pay. I present my card, I pay." I'm out in under a minute and a half, 90 seconds, versus the 6 minutes that it took to have them manually take down my information, manually take down my card, and all of that jazz. And if I wanted a receipt right then and there, I couldn't get it. They had to email it to me later once it processed. The age of acceleration, man. We went from 20 years ago, think about how jobs were then, right? You had a lot of drivers, yellow cab was still a thing, a lot more blue collar jobs than there are white collar jobs. And you fast forward to today, there's a lot more white collar jobs than there are blue collar jobs. But I think that with how AI is making things look going forward, you're going to have a concentrated number of people that are doing those white collar jobs, things around tech, and where you can really ensure you can have a career is knowing how to work things with your hands and your mind with ingenuity and those blue collar jobs that people just don't want to do. Like oil's not going away. I think that the industry will shift definitely, but it's not going away. There are certain jobs out there that are not going away, but you're going to see less people want to do those, right? What we're doing in healthcare and plants and things, you are going to still see people that are going to want to have those natural minerals, natural foods and things than genetically modified pears, peaches, and oranges. Even though we can produce those faster, get them out there and have more of them. There are people that are gonna go, nope, you're not gonna put anything GMO in my body, period. If you take a look at where we are now, society is more connected digitally, in my opinion, but I don't think that we're connected emotionally to each other, right? It's I think way too often, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on this one, because of how disconnected people are people to people. I think folks don't care about others as much as I think people may have done back in the day. I saw two different articles. One was a lady shot another lady for not saying thank you for holding the door for her. All right, weird. You just took a life and going to jail and spending some time with less freedoms because you perceive somebody as rude for not saying thank you. Just yesterday, somebody shot and killed somebody for you know how if you're at a light and a light turns green and you don't know what the person's doing, maybe they're distracted on their phone or whatnot, so you honk your horn to get their attention so that they know they should be going. Well, that happened yesterday to somebody, and the person felt some type of way about being blown at, so they got out. They decided to take their gun out and blow somebody out. Crazy, crazy work. Looking at where we're at now, do you think that we're evolving as a society or losing ourselves in the convenience, all of the conveniences that we have now? I'm genuinely curious what people think. All right. So that's right now. Let's look forward. I think that AI is going to be people's coworkers. I'm calling it. We're seeing it. You don't have to like it, but AI is going to be people's life assistant going forward. There's been talk about UBI, this universal basic income. I think in places like the US, China, India, which is growing. I don't think people really understand what India got going on, but India is really making some strides globally in the economic sector. I think that we're going to see UBI in my lifetime, like as I'm older, but in my lifetime. You will see UBI. I don't know how it's going to be implemented, but I think we're going to see it for certain. Mm, there's already talk about electric cars and how there's going to be a lot more of those on the road. I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it. Again, I had to replace two sensors on my car yesterday. I drive a hybrid. Basically, cars nowadays, like Tesla's a moving computer. Tesla's a computer on wheels. A computer with conveniences of, like, having a seat so that you can sit down. It's not going to necessarily matter that you know how to fix a car or change a tire or change oil or do all of the things. Can you diagnose a computer and fix that problem? Like, that's what it's going to look like going forward. I think that healthcare is going to see some leaps going forward as well. We're going to have a lot more diagnostic capabilities going forward, and that's going to help push some things to make things, ooh, how do I say this? Make things easier, but there's going to be a cost to that. I think that health tech will extend life expectancies. I think we're going to see implants that are going to be getting diagnostic stuff in real time, and it can help diagnose cancers early, catch those things that people are finding out about in late stage. But here's the thing, I think the haves are going to be able to do that. The have nots are still going to struggle with finding out about these cancers, having these ALS diagnosis come in late. Like, if you are part of the haves and not the have nots, you have the diagnostic capabilities, you have access to healthcare that they can discover and that they have the means to extend your life expectancy because they're seeing these things that are occurring in your body and catching them early and helping course correct. You are one of the people that can live a little bit longer and be okay, but you have to be a have to be able to do that. Okay. I also think that, and I've talked about this on prior live streams, our education is going to be completely different. 10 years ago, my daughter was what, in third grade, second grade, maybe fourth grade. And as she was going to school, she was carrying books. When she got to high school, and the last 4 years of her high school, she's not carrying books. She had either a tablet or a laptop, and that laptop had all of her books that she had needed to study for her classes. I think when we're talking about AI, we're talking about education, tutors, you no longer need tutors essentially with how tech is being implemented. I'm studying for an exam that I've pushed like 5 or 6, 50, 11 times by now. And I'm using ChatGPT and AI to help me study for this exam, giving me a breakdown by breakdown. If there's questions that I have, I can put it right there in the chat and get it to rephrase the information in a way that makes sense for me. Education is going to be completely different 10 years into the future, where you can have a customized teacher specifically for what your needs are, right? That's part of that. What is it? The accessibility to suit your needs for how you learn. Crazy, crazy work. Now, I want to showcase something real quick. It looks like I got a comment. Nope, that is not a real comment. That's a bot. So I want to showcase something real quick, and then I've got to prep to get ready to go to my job. I'm going to screen share, and I'm going to show something here. This is Mr. Beast. He created this video 10 years ago and scheduled it to be uploaded. I'm only going to play a couple of minutes of it. It's not that long, but check this out.
I'm going to schedule upload this video 10 years in the future. So you're going to see this in 2025. It's 2015 for me right now. Dude, what if I'm dead? Dude, if I'm... Ooh, that'd be weird. That'd be so weird. Rip. That'd be really weird. But so let's see. Dude, if I don't have 1,000,000 subscribers when you see this video, my entire life has been a failure. I hope I have 1,000,000 subs. I better have 1,000,000 subscribers when you guys see this.
10 years ago, he hoped that he had 1,000,000 subscribers. This fool at 447 million subs, his life has changed. His life has changed. Not only has his life changed, but the people that work with him and for him have also changed.
But by the time you see this, I'll have finished high school, gone to college, probably be doing YouTube as a job. Hopefully, maybe. Yeah. As of right now, I'm enjoying YouTube. Hopefully, future me still enjoys it. And I don't know.
Now he went hard. He went hardcore and dedicated himself. And I wanted to fast forward to this part here. Look at the version of Windows that he was using. And here's the date, October 4, 2015. He released this video 2 weeks ago. And it's got 42 million views. And he goes, "Hi me in 10 years." Now, he went hardcore on YouTube. Hardcore about it. So much so that that's all he that's all he focused on. And while he might have lost some relationships trying to figure out what he wanted to do, he gained a lot with his notoriety, his knowledge of YouTube, and again, YouTube has changed his life. There's one other person that I want to showcase. I've got to hit the mute button because it's playing some music. But the other one is Coach Greg Adams. So I talked at the beginning about two people that have inspired me. And I'm going to showcase here. This right here, this bald head guy in the middle is Greg. Greg is a content creator. He just turned 50 years old. And I guess you could call him a YouTuber as well. But he talked about how things went for him in his 20s, 30s, and 40s, and the decisions that he made, and the things that he had to do and change to get to where he's at now. So there he is eating a tomahawk steak. But what you wouldn't have known from watching this video is that roughly, well, just before 10 years ago, he was just starting up his content on YouTube. A little bit prior to that, after he got divorced, he was living in his car, right? So now he's, you know, traveling in Europe, Paris. He's celebrating his 50th birthday in Vegas, doing it big, right? Those are his those are his two cars. He's got the Porsche 911. He's got the G-Wagon in the background. And as he's talking about the things that he has this message that he calls boss up season, right? Like, this is your time to boss up. And people want to say, oh, he keep bragging about what he has. Like, why is this 50-year-old bragging and all this and that? But it's like, if you don't know where this person came from, then you don't have the right to sit there and say that, right? When you can make better decisions in your life and you can forecast and think about the things that you've got going on going forward, then when you have that success, you can live and do however you damn well please. And what he did inspired me. What Mr. Beast did also inspired me. I'm 41 years old. When I'm 50, I should, based on the decisions and stuff that I'm making now, be able to live the life that I want to live, not necessarily live the life that I have to live because of bad decisions and things that I've made in life. I can't blame nobody else but myself at this point. I've got the knowledge. I've got the know-how. I've got the ability. I've got the brain. I've got the access. I've got the resources. And it's not just me. Everybody out there, if you're physically able and of sound mind and body, you have everything you need already to have extreme success. What you might not have is dedication. What you might not have is motivation. What you might not have is your own drive to be able to just get out there and do it. I'm committed to going live every Monday, whether I see 1 people, 2 people, 30 people. It is what it is. And let's see how this goes 10 years from now. That's my time. I am the actual King Smith. I got to get to my job. Hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. We out. Peace.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Trumpets blare the golden call. A throne awaits, I rise so tall. Drums like thunder, shake the hall. Royal robe, I wear the weight. Diamonds cut the night, no debate. Heavy is the head, but I'm feeling great. Crown me king, crown me king. Horns will shout, let the kingdom sing. Crown me king, crown me king. Bow to the sound, feel the power I bring. I bring.